In this video, the Jeep gets lubed up with new lubricant in the transfer case and transmission, and both the axles and all the grease fittings. Before I get started with the differentials and transfer case and greasing everything, I want all you guys to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and like this video. It helps a lot. Now let's get to it. How's it going, everybody? So we're gonna be replacing all the fluids in the front and back differentials, the transfer case and transmission. I'm not going to do the engine quite yet because I want it to start up and get hot and get all that sludge out, because it is kind of gross. I've already looked at it. There's this little port right here that I could look through and see the oil, and it was kind of gross. So I'm going to wait and do that first. And you can kind of see that the pinion seal was kind of leaking. It's not a huge deal. I could just replace it, but I haven't got one yet, so I'm not going to replacing that. Also in the front one, I will be bleeding the brakes. Maybe not in this video, but I will be bleeding them. So every grease fitting too, I'm going to be greasing up, except for some of the steering ones, because I have already done that when we first started, because the steering was so terrible that we just needed to grease them right away. So I got all my stuff I need right here. So I got the gear lubricant already. This is for the differential, the transfer case, and the transmission. We're just using a 80W90. It says either Psi 80 or Psi 90, so you know, this is both of them. Best of both worlds. Alright, so I'm going to take off the rear differential. I've already taken off this drain plug. I actually haven't seen what it looks like yet, but take all this off and then drain it all out. Alright, so you can see the oil's already coming out. Doesn't actually look too bad. It looks like someone's probably already changed this once before. I'm just taking these bolts out real quick. If you don't know, they put like sulfur in this, in the differentials, anti-wear, and it's going to smell absolutely terrible. I can already smell it. Alright, I don't know if you can see that or if it's focusing or not. You can see I have a 538 rear end, no limited slip because it would have an L right in the center, but yeah, it's a 538 rear end. Alright, so I got all the screws unloosened except for the very top one. Oh, I actually missed one. Alright, so I got all of them loosened except for the very top one. Now I'm just going to get a screwdriver and a very long screwdriver, which is probably impractical. Try to pop it off. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is very thick. Oh god, that smells terrible. Oh. Just let it drain. Alright, so I got the differential cover off. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look like there's too many metal filings. You know, the gasket right there looks bad because that's where I just took it off. The differential does not look that bad. This might actually be a locker. I probably should actually look into that. So this is a Dana 44, and you can see that they're pretty nice gears. Alright, so I just got some brake clean, the non-chlorinated stuff, and I'm just going to spray this all down, if I can hit it. Oh god, that is gross. Alright, so you can see that's actually not too bad. Pretty clean. It still has the gasket on it. But yeah, looks pretty good. This is still draining, as you can tell. I mean, I probably should lift up the front just a little so this tilts back, but I think it should be fine. This fluid actually looks pretty clean. Alright, but let me try to take off the gasket real quick. Alright guys, so I have gone through 2.5 batteries on my drill just trying to take this off. The guy before me decided to put a gasket and RTV in it. You don't need to do that. You just either need RTV or a gasket. You don't need both. This is taking way longer than it needs to be. I don't think he realizes that you're going to change this again but he sold it to me, so he probably didn't care too much. Just make sure it's not leaking when he sells it. But yeah, so I got to keep on going at this. It's probably been about 10 minutes or so, maybe 15. But yeah, I got to take off the rest of this because I can't just leave one side and not have the rest. Alright, so it's been probably about 20 minutes, but you can see it's all cleaned up. What I used was a chisel, and if you've seen Chris Fix's video, which you probably have before you've seen mine, he says don't use metal because it'll gouge it. You probably shouldn't, and especially with you shouldn't use a hammer on that, like actually I did. But it's not too bad, especially on differentials, because first of all, if you use an RTV, it actually seals it up pretty well. But gear oil is also so thick that it's going to be hard to get through a little ding from this, so it's not too bad. But you don't want to use a steel wheel. I'm using a brass wheel, and you can see it's already put on a really nice smooth coating. Probably just maybe use like 1,000 grit or something, and just get the rest off. Okay. Alright, so now you get to your RTV. I like the Ultra Black because it's oil resistant. And what you want to do is just put it all the way around. You could get it into these little divots, but yeah, you just want to get it around and, you know, fill up whatever imperfection about it. Always smear it around. It's perfect for what you want it to do. And just put one bolt in. And that's what I told you just to do. You know I was kidding. Okay. Put one bolt in. Can. Come on. It's supposed to smear it around. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. But yeah, just get these all bolts kind of snug in there. Okay, now they're all snugged down. You want to wait about 30 minutes to an hour before you add any oil. So I'm going to do the front one before I fill this with oil. Alright, so we're on the front one. This one probably, I don't have no clue if this one's ever been done. The back one looks like it's been done, but you know, oh my god. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I'm on my last bolt. I'm going to take my very long screwdriver again and try to pry this off. I think I almost got it. This has definitely been changed once before. Maybe. I don't know if it would be this hard. Oh no. This might not have been. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh! Ugh. Is that sludge or oil? Oh, that is... I don't even want to smell that. I don't even want to look at it. Oh gosh. Oh, that is putrid. That is very, very disgusting. Yeah, that's an open differential right there. I think the rear might actually have a limited slip. Good news. This gasket is not RTV'd on. But this is disgusting. So I'm going to clean this up real quick. Because this is absolutely disgusting. I might even clean in there because I don't think I want to put new oil in there. That's gross. Okay, let's get to it though. Alright, so now I'm going to drain the transmission and transfer case right here. The transmission or the transfer case bolt is underneath over on the other side. And the transmission is right there just on the driver's side of the shifter stick. Let's see how good this looks. Hopefully this doesn't just dump right onto the crossbeam and splash all over me. Oh, that's not too bad. That one actually looks like oil. I mean, a little dirty, but it looks like oil. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculously hard. I don't know why. And also, I don't like this one because it's kind of straight down. I mean, I guess it's not too bad, but... And that one looks similar to the transmission. So, this might actually have a transmission crossover, so that's probably why it kind of looks similar. So I got my pumper and some oil. Let me tell you, this oil smells worse than what came out of it. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. Holy heck no. That is some thick oil. Yep, it's right there. Ugh. If you have a differential, or, well, probably not a differential, but a transfer case and your transmission that takes automatic transmission fluid, because you have an automatic transmission, then you probably should put thread sealant on the plug. But because gear lube is so thick, I have no chance of it probably coming through there. Alright, so it's the next day, so let's get this one in. Alright, so I can actually see the level that it's right there. It's pretty good. Means it's filled. Seems high, but I guess not. Nice. Gonna clean that off now. I already did the transfer case and transmission off camera because those are basically the exact same thing as this. Just pumping it in. I'll show you the fill plugs if you guys are doing this yourself. But now I'm gonna grease all the fittings. So the fill plug on the transmission is right underneath this the clutch cable. It's just a 9/16 square drive, I believe. Then the transfer case is right behind the parking brake, right there. It's also a 9/16 square drive. It's also right next to the speedo cable. Alright, so now I'm going to take the grease gun and grease up every single fitting that I can find on this Jeep, except for some of the steering parts right down here, because we already did that right as we bought the Jeep. Alright guys, so I just greased up all the fittings. There actually wasn't as many as I thought, but it is good that they do have a lot of grease fittings, because, I mean, it extends the life of most stuff. But the problem with them is that no one decides they want to actually grease everything, and then it kills them early. Alright, but that's all I have for this video. The next up should be paint. I still have a couple things to do with the body, so it might be a week or two before next upload. But it's good to get all this stuff done before we put the body back onto the chassis, because I mean, I probably would have never got to any of those grease fittings, and some of them were gross. Like this one right here, it was just like straight black dirt coming out of it. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.